The most powerful source of energy in Earth is actually way out in space. It's the sun. More energy is given by the sun in a day than is consumed in a year. The world has a big appetite for energy, but the solar energy has been difficult for humans to transform it in energy. Some countries had implemented the use of solar panels in houses, as in the US. In Sacramento, California, the installation of solar panels has turned into success by saving a lot of money in energy bills. If you produce more energy than the one you consume, you could even gain money.
Good afternoon. My name is Joshua, and I'm going to talk of advantages and disadvantages of the solar energy. For starters, I'm going to talk about the disadvantages of the solar energy. You have to start with the initial cost. It goes up a lot. Then solar cells they have the need of big areas to have a better reception of this type of energy and use it to the fullest by applying it to a big area. The air pollution and the weather can also affect these devices, which won't work at their fullest if there's presence of polluted cities and areas. The materials of the solar energy panels are very expensive, mainly the silicon. And the problem of places where the sun doesn't reach makes this product useless. Solar energy is currently thought to cost about twice as much as traditional sources of oil, etc. Obviously, as fossil fuels reserves become depleted, their cost will rise until a point is reached where solar cells become an economically viable source of energy. When this occurs, massive investment will be able to further increase their efficiency and lower their cost. But you have to talk also of the non-usage of solar energy that can bring some disadvantages, leading people to want to have this solar panels. There are many parts of the world where the availability of electricity is non-reachable. The problem of being out in the street is that you cannot find many sources of energy like electricity. Therefore, you cannot run out of battery. You need to wait to get to a place where you can plug your electrical devices. The other problem is that you need to carry with you your charger in order to plug your electrical device only when you find a source of electricity. That you don't count this when you are in the street. Then the usage of electricity causes the release of many CFCs, which pollute the earth and the environment where we live in. Also, when we are with problems with the light going from your house, you cannot charge your devices, leading you to lose your battery, leaving you without a source to charge your device. The installation of electrical sources are of large scales, meaning that it costs a lot of time and money. Of those things you missed, you end up with no source of energy. Then we can move to the advantages of solar panels. Solar cells are long lasting sources of energy, which can be used almost anywhere. They are particularly useful where there is no national grid, and also where there are no people, such as remote site, water pumping, or in space. Solar cells provide cost effective solutions to energy problems in places where there is no mains electricity. Solar cells are also totally silent and non-polluting. As they have no moving parts, they require little maintenance and have a long lifetime. Compared to other renewable resources, they also possess many advantages. Wind and water power rely on turbines, which are noisy, expensive, and liable to break down, leading to a better outcome when you have solar panels that this type of things do not happen. Rooftop power is a good way of supplying energy to a growing community. More cells can be added to homes and businesses as the community grows so that energy generation is in line with demand. Many large scale systems currently end up over generating to ensure that everyone has enough. Solar cells can be also installed in distributed fashion, i.e., they do not need large-scale installations. Solar cells can easily be installed on roofs, which means no new space is needed and each user can quietly generate their own energy. Thank you for your attention. Let's go back to Andres.
Hi, good afternoon. This afternoon I'm going to talk about the uses of solar energy. The solar energy is one of the most wasted resources that are given to Earth naturally. And to comparison to the other energies, this is one of the less harmful when being processed or being gathered. There are many uses for this energy. Let's put, for example, how the architecture and urban planning nowadays is being influenced by this energy. Every day new buildings are being made so that the solar energy is taking more advantage to it. Adding to these ones solar panels so that they can have the most advantage of its thermal energy. For example, in water heating, creating the energy for the heating and the cooling devices in the house. These uses of the energy save from 30 up to 50% of the energy consumption in the house. There is also a case in Indonesia of a water plant that uses water heating so that it can be decontaminated and be used for water consumption in the poor villages. This is an advantage of the solar energy helping the poor and needy ones in this world. Also, nowadays there are cars that use solar energy to activate some of their normal functions, like Toyota Prius that has a solar panel in the top that gives enough energy to put into function the air conditioner without spending any gas or using any battery power. There are many experiments that have been made into air transportations that are using solar energy. Let's take for example the Zephyr. This is an experiment of the NASA that is an aircraft powered completely by solar energy that held the record distance of 30,000 meters to an altitude of 100,000 feet. This is how by 2035 there is an estimate that we would be having commercial planes like the Zephyr being completely powered by solar energy. The most important of all the uses is the electricity production that is being used in some of the cities in the world. For example, New York or San Francisco, that are some of the biggest and more highly consumptive of electricity. They have implemented solar panel in nearby energy plants that converts the solar energy into electricity using photovoltaic panels. This saves up to 20% of the energy of the city, cutting expenses and uses of other contaminant energies. Solar energy is something good for this world. Let's stop using other energies. Use solar energy.